Splatoon 3 is 6 weeks away. Like, literally 6 weeks from right now, we will actually be playing this video game, and that is very, very exciting to me. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I think all of us have. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of playing the same levels over and over again, and looking forward to something new, fresh, new weapons, new clothes, new maps, new campaign mode, all these things that are going to be new. We're going to have new content in Splatoon for the first time in years, and I'm pumped. But despite all of these good feelings, I do have some reservations. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like I'm not scared about this game. It's like that feeling you get like before something major happens in your life, like but something good and exciting, like before you get married or something like that. Like you're excited about it, but like you also have nervousness about it, or it's kind of like that bad feeling maybe you get in the pit of your stomach before you demolish a 20-piece McNugget or something like that. Like, you know, you're going to enjoy it, but there's a little bit of, maybe this isn't the best thing that we could be doing right now. And I'm not scared that the game's going to get delayed. I'm not scared that the game's going to be an absolute mess and have a horrible launch. As weird as this is to say, I'm scared I'm going to hate it. So like I said earlier, Splatoon 3 is 6 weeks away, and I know this is gonna sound a little hypocritical, but the fact that we don't know a whole lot about the game at this point is a little unsettling, I think, maybe? Like I know I'm the guy who made a video saying, calm down, we don't need to know everything about Splatoon. If we knew everything at this point, what would change, what would happen? And I still kind of feel that at this point, but at the same time, like, we're less than 6 weeks away. And we don't even know how the game works entirely. Like, we know some, I mean, it's the same, you shoot the floor. It's the same video game that we've been playing for 7 years now. But like, I don't know, like, why haven't we seen, like, all the new levels? Why haven't we seen more of the campaign? Why haven't we seen all of these things? And there's just this little rat part of my brain that's just like, it's because it's bad, but it's not gonna be bad. I don't know. It's just wild to me that, like, I don't know, the time that we had from the Splatoon 2 global test fire to the Splatoon 3, or Splatoon 2 launch rather, was months. Like, we played the Splatoon 2 global test fire. Let me actually look this up. Let me get the details. Hang on, let me Google this. Splatoon 2 global test fire date was the 14th of March in 2017. Alright, so March 14th. And then the release date for Splatoon 2 was July 21st. So we had March, April, May, June, July. We had 4 months between the global test fire and the release of the game. And we have 6 weeks, and we haven't had our hands on a test fire. Maybe there's not going to be a test fire. I don't know. I'm starting to get, like, scared and nervous. And I'm just afraid that I'm going to get my hands on Splatoon 3, and it's going to have all of the same issues I have with Splatoon 2. And again, I made a whole video about that, about like the things I want to see change, things I don't want to see in Splatoon 3 that are in Splatoon 3, like map rotations, like a bad campaign, like all those. I don't even remember. Go watch the video. But like I'm afraid that I'm gonna boot up Splatoon 3 and it's just gonna be different looking Splatoon 2, and that's not what I want. I want a new game. I want it to be different. I want it to have a certain level of freshness other than just clothes, weapons, and maps. I want it to play differently. I want the meta to be different. I want the weapons to feel different. I want... I don't know, man. I'm really nervous that I'm gonna turn on the game, boot it up for the first time on September 9th, and I'm gonna have to sit through a cutscene of whoever the idols are, because again, we don't know yet. Sit through whoever the idols are talking to me about the map rotations, and that there's gonna be map rotations, and I'm gonna be locked into 2 levels for 2 hours at a time. I'm just scared and worried that I'm not going to like this game. And I'm usually fairly optimistic about things. You know, I'm usually the guy who, you know, everyone's like, oh, I won't get the new Pokemon game until I know what it's gonna be like. It's like, no, I know I'm gonna like the Pokemon game, I'm gonna play it. And as someone who has thousands of hours across Splatoon 1 and 2, literal thousands, there's no shot that I'm not going to enjoy myself to some extent playing Splatoon 3. I'm gonna have fun, it's gonna be a great time. But I'm just afraid that it's just gonna be safe and to a certain extent, from a certain angle, bad. I'm just worried about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this. Maybe it's just the nervousness because we're so close to it. I'm confident that Nintendo will put out a fun product. But if I swear to God, if I boot up and start doing viewer battles over on Twitch where we get the whole chat in on the game and people start disconnecting through no fault of their own just because Nintendo can't seem to make a decent online matchmaking service, I'm gonna just play Overwatch.